Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to the Privacy Guy. Today I wanted to talk about why I think Elon Musk's Neuralink, even though it's a super awesome, cool, modern idea, could, be one of the bigger kind of opponents to privacy in the coming years. It's definitely having more of it going to have more of an impact than something like Facebook, or apps that track you and things like that. And the reason I'm talking about this now is because I recently read an article in the from the BBC about Elon Musk placing one of these chips to he put a chip in a pig that essentially allows that pig to connect to the Neuralink and cause things to happen based on its thoughts. So and the way that Neuralink works is like it reads your brain signals in order to know what you're thinking so that you can communicate with computers and other devices with your brain. And this is a pretty cool innovation if you think about the different interfaces that we currently use. Thinking about things like typing, where you have to actually hit the individual letters to spell out words, or something like the mouse, where you have to move around to click on certain things. With the Neuralink, in theory, I would be able to just think about the words that I want to type, and it would input those into the device I'm using. Or then, like, the alternative to the mouse would just be me, like, using my brain to signal to the computer which item I want to click on. And that's great. I think the Neuralink itself is a super cool technology, and I think moving forward it would probably be a big advancement and a good thing for the world and technology overall. But what I want to talk about is the privacy implications, which are glaringly terrible. So if you think about if everyone has a chip in their brain, and everything that we think is then connected to the internet, somebody's going to be controlling the flow of that data. And so the company behind Neuralink, which looks like will probably be owned by Elon Musk, or other investors like that, they're going to monetize this data in the way that Google currently monetizes web traffic by placing ads in places, the way that Facebook and Instagram monetize their services by targeting ads. This Neuralink is just basically giving them more connections. So, before, where companies had to kind of guess when it came to what consumers were thinking, Neuralink gives them a direct access point to that information. So if a company sees that I'm thinking about, I'm considering two different products. Let's say I'm shopping for cars and I'm considering a Honda Civic or a Volkswagen Jetta. And Honda then can advertise to me to try to convince me to buy the Honda. Volkswagen can compete with them and try to bid higher to get their ad placed ahead of Honda's to convince me to buy the Jetta. And right now, the only way these companies can really do that is if I visit the Honda website and I look at the Honda Civic and I build it and I see what's in stock at my local dealers. Or if I go to Volkswagen's site and I, build and customize a Jetta and then I save it and email it to myself. Like, they can track that stuff and then they can retarget me with Facebook ads, or the dealerships near me can retarget me with Facebook ads. And I get nervous when we talk about this with Neuralink because it's in my brain. So what happens when not only is Neuralink reading my brain signals, but it can actually influence what's going on in my head. So, every time I think about buying a car or driving or anything like that, Volkswagen's able to present something in my head, it just kind of weirds me out as far as like the whole mind control thing goes, and I don't think that's necessarily one of the functionalities of Neuralink right now. It's just basically communicating with those with your brain as an interface. So rather than texting someone using a keyboard, I could text them just by thinking of the words and it would send it to them. So there's still devices in the middle. So like if I send the text message with my phone using my brain to type it out, that kind of thing. It's not then putting the message in the other person's brain, although that could happen at some point down the road. But I'm just concerned that some company controlling the Neuralink technology will, because of the way companies are structured and because their duty to maximize their profits for their shareholders and whoever else, they're going to be pushed or forced to do things that are going to invade on people's privacy, and that's just the fact of the matter. And I think that's kind of harming tech in general because companies are forced to deliver more profits and more ways to monetize their services. And when that's the case, they're going to compromise on privacy because it's just not that profitable. So that's just one thing to think of. I think we still have a lot to learn about Neuralink and how it's actually implemented, but just the article I read in the BBC got me thinking if they can put this in pigs, it's not going to be long before we're getting these Neuralink devices embedded in our brains. So just something to think about. If you have comments or discussion about it, I'd love to hear your thoughts on Neuralink. So go ahead and leave those in the comments. So thanks for watching and have a good day.